Did you know that over 8 million KitKat bars are made every single day? That's enough to build a chocolate tower taller than Mount Everest. But how do they make so many? Let's peek inside one of the world's biggest chocolate factories and see the amazing machines that turn simple ingredients into your favorite crunchy snack. By the end of this video, you'll discover a surprising secret about KitKats, and it's probably not what you think. Ever wondered where the chocolate in your KitKat comes from? Let's take a trip to West Africa. Picture endless fields of cocoa pods stretching as far as the eye can see, all basking under the hot July sun. The air is thick with the earthy scent of cocoa and the buzz of insects. It's harvest time and excitement fills the air. Watch as farmers carefully pick each ripe pod by hand. There are no fancy machines here. It's all about skill and experience passed down through generations. Every pod tells a story, says Maria, a local farmer. We treat each one like gold. Now let's see what happens next. The farmers crack open the pods, revealing a surprise inside. Instead of brown chocolate, the cocoa beans are sticky and white. It's hard to believe these will become our favorite crunchy treat. Time for the next step in the KitKat journey. The farmers spread out these gooey beans on big mats to dry in the sun. This takes about 8 days. As they dry, something magical happens. The beans slowly turn brown, and that's when you start to notice that amazing chocolate smell we all love. But these beans aren't ready for KitKat stardom yet. They've got to pass some tough tests first. Only the best beans make the cut. The experts check for size, smell, and moisture levels. They're looking for plump, uniform beans with a strong, pleasant aroma and just the right amount of moisture. Here's a fun fact that might surprise you. Even though millions of KitKats are made every day, each one can be traced back to these carefully selected beans. It's like each KitKat has its own chocolate pedigree. But the beans' journey is far from over. These top-notch beans are about to embark on an exciting adventure. They're packed up and shipped off to KitKat factories around the world. Can you imagine the anticipation? These beans have no idea they're destined to become part of one of the world's most popular chocolate treats. Next, they're in for a wild transformation that will blow your mind. Get ready to see how these humble beans become the crispy, chocolatey KitKat we all know and love. Those carefully selected cocoa beans have finally arrived at the KitKat factory, but they're not ready for prime time just yet. Think chocolate making is all sweet and simple? Think again. These beans are in for a wild ride. Let's peek inside the factory and see what happens next. The beans might look ready, but they're about to go through an intense 3-hour makeover. Why so long? Well, turning simple beans into that irresistible KitKat chocolate is quite the process. First stop, the cleaning station. Watch as the beans hurtle through a big sealed drum. It's like a giant washing machine for cocoa. They spin and collide, knocking off dirt and leftover shells. Check out those powerful air jets blasting away every speck of dust. These beans are getting squeaky clean. This thorough cleaning is crucial for pure flavor. Any leftover debris could throw off the taste. Now it's time for the fire challenge. The beans head into a massive roasting machine. This part's super tricky. It's like trying to toast a marshmallow to golden perfection. 1 second too long and it's ruined. The temperature and timing have to be just right to get that perfect KitKat flavor we all love. Roasting develops the beans' complex flavors and aromas, so precision is key. Next up, the beans face the grinder. It's not for the faint of heart. Watch as they're crushed into a smooth, thick paste. This is where the rich flavors really start to come out. Grinding breaks down the bean structure, releasing more of those tasty compounds. Here's where things get really interesting. See that big hydraulic press? It's about to squeeze out pure cocoa butter from the paste. It's like liquid gold. The leftover stuff forms into big cocoa cakes. Each one weighs about 7 kilograms and smells amazing. This is the real essence of chocolate right here. But we're not done yet. Those cocoa cakes get ground up again into a superfine powder. This stuff is crucial for creating that signature KitKat chocolate taste we can't get enough of. The finer the powder, the smoother the final chocolate will be. All these steps combine to create that irresistible KitKat flavor that keeps us coming back for more. Now, we're about to enter the most top-secret room in the entire factory. Are you ready to uncover KitKat's best-kept secrets? Nestle guards this recipe like Fort Knox. There are security cameras, fingerprint scanners, and even a vault for the recipe itself. Let's peek inside this high-tech mixing room. See that massive mixer? It could feed a small army. Into this giant bowl goes our cocoa powder, sugar for sweetness, milk powder for creaminess, and that cocoa butter we squeezed out earlier. It's like a chocolate party in there. Watch that mixer go. It's churning everything together, creating a thick, velvety chocolate mass. You can almost smell that rich cocoa scent through the screen. But we're not done yet. Look at that machine over there. That's for conching. It grinds the chocolate particles super tiny, making sure every bite of your KitKat is smooth as silk. The longer they conch the chocolate, the smoother and creamier it gets. It's like giving your chocolate a spa day. Now, we're on to tempering. This is where chocolate gets its snap. They carefully heat and cool the chocolate, almost like giving it a chocolate jacuzzi. The tempering process aligns the cocoa butter crystals, making the chocolate glossy and giving it that satisfying snap when you break a piece off. Did you know KitKat uses different chocolate for the coating and the filling? Yep, that's right. The filling is actually a bit thinner, almost like a chocolate cream. It's what helps stick those wafers together without making them soggy. Picture this, a team of chocolate scientists in white coats, carefully monitoring each step of the process. They're making sure every batch of KitKat chocolate is perfect, from the first mix to the final temper. And here's a fun fact. The longer they conch the chocolate, the more luxurious it becomes. It's like the chocolate is getting a gourmet makeover, becoming smoother and more refined with each passing minute. But a KitKat is more than just chocolate. Its heart and soul lie in something else entirely. Those crispy wafers that give KitKat its signature crunch. But that's a story for another part of our chocolate adventure. What's the real secret to KitKat's satisfying crunch? It's all in the wafer, and you won't believe how they make it. Let's crack open this mystery and see how those perfectly crispy layers come to life. Check out that big mixer over there. It's whipping up a batter that looks a lot like pancake mix, but don't be fooled. This is the start of KitKat's signature wafers. Watch as they pump it through those super precise nozzles. It's like a high-tech waffle maker, but way more accurate. Now look at those rectangular molds. The batter's going in, nice and even. But here's where things get wild. These wafers are about to take a seriously hot and fast ride. The oven's cranked up to a scorching 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and they only bake for 30 seconds. Why so quick? It's all about science. This rapid baking creates the perfect lightness. Any longer and they'd be too crunchy, any less and they'd be too soft. It's a delicate balance that gives KitKats that nostalgic crunch we all love. Fresh out of the oven, these wafers need to cool down fast. See those gentle streams of cool air? They're crucial for keeping that crispy texture. Quick cooling prevents sogginess when the chocolate's added later. It's another precise step in creating that classic KitKat experience. While the wafers are chilling out, let's peek at what's going on over here. They're mixing up the filling that goes between the wafers. And there's a surprise ingredient, ground up imperfect KitKats. They're recycling these into the filling, adding depth to the flavor. This filling is pretty clever. It's thinner than a regular chocolate, almost like a cream. That's what helps stick those wafers together without making them fall apart when you take a bite. It's all about that perfect balance between crispy and creamy. All right, our wafers are cool and the filling's ready. Time to put it all together. Watch as they layer wafer filling, wafer filling. It's like building a tiny, delicious skyscraper. Each layer has to be just right to get that classic KitKat crunch that brings back memories with every bite. The result? A perfectly crafted KitKat bar that combines crispy wafers with smooth filling, all wrapped in chocolate. It's this meticulous process that ensures every KitKat delivers that satisfying snap we've come to know and love. Get ready for the most mesmerizing part of our KitKat journey, the chocolate waterfall. This is where our wafer stack transforms into that iconic treat we all know and love. Look at that huge vat of melted chocolate. It's like a pool of liquid gold, isn't it? But getting that perfect KitKat coating is more complicated than you might think. Watch those wafer stacks moving along the conveyor belt. They're about to take a trip through what looks like a chocolate cascade. See how glossy waves of chocolate flow over each wafer stack, enrobing it in liquid perfection. And here's the kicker. They're not just going through once. Each KitKat gets 3 separate coats of chocolate. Why 3 coats, you ask? It's all about getting that perfect thickness. Too thin, and the wafer might show through. Too thick, and you lose that satisfying snap when you break a piece off. Multiple thin coats work better than one thick coat because they allow better control over the thickness and help prevent air bubbles from forming. Check out how the chocolate flows over the wafers. It's like watching a chocolatier work their magic, but on a massive scale. Each layer is applied with incredible precision. The first coat seals the wafer, the second adds body, and the third gives it that smooth, glossy finish we all love. After that chocolate bath, our KitKats need to cool down. Look at that long conveyor belt stretching out. Cool air gently blows over the bars as they move along, helping the chocolate set perfectly. Now for the exciting part, the cutting zone. Those long chocolate-covered wafer stacks are about to become the KitKats we know. Watch those sharp blades slice through with incredible speed and precision. In the blink of an eye, we've got perfectly sized KitKat fingers. Here's a mind-blowing fact for you. This factory churns out over 200,000 bars every single day. If you lined up all those KitKats, they'd stretch for miles. But even after this chocolate bath, our KitKats aren't quite ready. They still have to face their toughest challenge yet. What could it be? Well, every chocolate masterpiece needs its finishing touch. But that's a story for another time. Welcome to the KitKat Gladiator Arena, where only the strongest survive. Are your favorite bars up to the challenge? This is the quality control zone, and it's no joke. Every single KitKat has to prove it's worthy of that iconic name. Look at this part of the factory. It's like a gauntlet for chocolate bars. These testers are tough cookies, searching for even the tiniest flaw. They don't mess around when it comes to KitKat perfection. See that machine over there? It's scanning each bar for imperfections we can't even spot. Air bubbles, tiny cracks, uneven coating. This high-tech inspector catches it all. It's like a chocolate X-ray machine, but wait, there's more. Check out those workers in white coats. They're doing random spot checks, making sure the bars look and feel just right. They're checking for the perfect snap, the right glossiness, and even the exact weight. One wrong curve or a slightly off color, and that KitKat's dreams of stardom are over. Now you might be wondering about the rejects. Well, here's a cool twist. Those imperfect bars get a second chance. They're crushed up and mixed into the filling between the wafers. It's KitKat recycling at its finest. Our perfect KitKats have made it through. What's next? Look at those robotic arms moving at lightning speed. They're wrapping each bar faster than you can blink. It's like a high-speed origami contest with shiny foil instead of paper. And there it is, that famous slogan we all know and love. Have a break. Have a KitKat. Watch as it's printed on every wrapper. It's the final touch that turns these chocolate bars into the KitKats we see on store shelves. This whole process isn't just about making candy. It's about making sure every KitKat lives up to your expectations. When you unwrap that bar, you're getting a piece of perfection that's passed some seriously tough tests. It's why that first bite always takes you right back to your favorite KitKat memories. Our KitKats are all wrapped up and ready to go. But where exactly are they heading? Well, that's a whole other adventure. From sun-drenched cocoa pods to high-tech chocolate waterfalls, we've seen the amazing journey that creates each perfect KitKat. Next time you unwrap one, take a moment to appreciate the farmers, machines, and processes behind that crispy, chocolatey bar. Look closely at the layers and texture. There's so much to discover. Want to impress your friends with some sweet knowledge during your next KitKat break? Share what you've learned. And if you're hungry for more food factory secrets, stick around. We're diving into Airhead's bubble gum production next. It's going to be a flavor-packed adventure that'll blow your mind.